All right. Today is July 29th, 2018. Get ready for the Emergency Broadcast System, the Forbidden History Series. What they didn't want you to know, but we tell right here. Now's the time to call your friends, ladies and gentlemen. We now interrupt your normally scheduled programming to bring you this very important deprogramming program. And special thanks to YouTube.com for hosting the Forbidden History Series. Please note that the following views and the opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily the views nor the opinions of the Master Force Group, YouTube.com, Free America Radio Network, our sponsors, our partners, and MFG is a private society. Nothing here is ever to be construed as medical nor legal advice. And listen to the Forbidden History prime time 7 days a week right here on therealpublicradio.net, because hidden beneath the sands of time lies the greatest of all mysteries. It's the Forbidden History. Unearth for yourself the secret truths that lie hidden just beneath the surface below our feet. What is it that the powers that be do not want you or I to know? Come and journey with us as we explore and dare to know, because it's all right here, coming your way, twice a day, 7 days a week, on YouTube.com, on therealpublicradio.net. It's what they didn't want you to know, but we tell right here. You did call your friends? Stand by for the broadcast. Coming to you live from Studio Z at the Lighthouse in Central Ohio, in the heart of Amish country, and Free America Radio Network, in the land of dreams, enchantments, and nightmares. It's the Forbidden History Series, the Great Lies of History, the AB Seeds of Light, the Duality Revealed, the Words That Kill, the History of the Church, and a whole lot more. We are the Deprogramming Program, ladies and gentlemen, here to shed light on the great enigmas of our time. It's a battle for our mind. Truth is light, and ignorance is darkness. And these are the antagonists, the one against the other. Once we can begin to comprehend the true nature of things, then we can begin to comprehend that there is nothing really more to complain about. When we can find the lies, then we are right there at the truth. The duality in nature, in the matrix. The one who doesn't want to know the truth is the slave who doesn't want to be free. And welcome to the Forbidden History Series, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Desert Owl, a bird who sees in the night, and want to welcome any new listeners to the broadcast, and hope things are going well on your end out there. There's things happening all the time, and and very often, well, every day we're hearing about the tragedies that are out there, and so to be conscious of it and to pray for those who suffer and struggle, that people would wake up and help in those situations in life, and to stop preventing the harm. That would be a nice thing, to stop preventing the harm that is coming to so many people. So, so the great lies of history, ladies and gentlemen, what we talk about on the program. I have a great lie of history today to share with you, but sometimes you also have something that you want to share. So, so if you have something you've discovered and you consider it a great lie of history, then call us and and share. Okay, 608-566-7295. That's 608-566-7295. And Skyping in any questions, you can call in on Skype also. Free America Radio, all one word, Free America Radio. And good morning, Ninja. Good to have you. And we also have the instant messenger where you can send a question as well. Or if you're going to do it on the chat, then use all capital letters, please, for the word question or request, or just my name, Desert, all capital letters, and then upper and lower on the text. That way it's easy to spot, okay? And hoping everybody's doing well out there. But you know, the tax man, that's a taxing issue. I'm telling you, everything is being paid for. This is the illusion. This is the statement that's being made consistently, and I think they want us to think it's true. Remember, if you're asking if you're asking the wrong questions, and they don't care what the answers are, right? Hi, Martha, from up in Canada. Good to have you. So yeah, if you're not asking the right questions, then they're not concerned. But the statement is everything is being paid for by your tax dollars. Okay, and so I'm gonna try to get you to see that that's not true. Okay, that is not true. There is the different tax, like when you go to the gas pump or those type of things. We are paying for tax, but this thing about what comes out of your paycheck every week, that's what I'm talking about, paycheck, and they say it all goes to the IRS. They extorted 30 or 40 or 50% out of your weekly pay, and then they're gonna give you a little bit of it back so you feel good about yourself. While they just took practically half of what you made in a year. Especially when you're young, the single people, they really get hit up. But anyway, so the truth is, everything is not being paid for by the taxpayer. In fact, none of the funny money they take out of your paycheck, none of it goes to the the national government or the United States corporation. Okay, and so the whole system that they have here, actually, it began in England, and to me, it's easier to use England as the example. Slaves to taxes. That's right. Well, I think everybody should pay any lawful tax that they owe. Martha, the question is, what is lawful? And so that's. Good morning, Jedi. Good to have you. Put your. Oh, you got it spelled correctly. Outstanding. Yeah, that's Love Matters all over. I'm glad she helped you. She is all love. Yes, she is. And you notice when she's not around. So so everything is being paid for by the tax dollars. No, it's not. Okay, so what happened? The game has always been in the process of being perfected. So when the Rothschilds are taking over Europe, then what happens is Napoleon is at the end of his heyday, and there's the Battle of Waterloo, and so the threat was on against England that Napoleon's going to come over here and take over, and so the wealthy royalty were being convinced, maybe you should consider selling everything you got and get out while the getting's good. And so So the Rothschild bought all the. I think it was Nathan, but I'm not sure. Nathan Rothschild. He because there was the five brothers, and all brothers each were in a different city. One in Italy, one in France, one in England, one in Germany. I don't know where the other one was. Probably Scandinavia. But so so the royalty then are selling their valuables, their estates for a penny on the dollar. Rothschild buys it all up, and he even has the spy system going. He's got a carrier pigeon where he's going to find out right away. The carrier pigeon flies right across the English Channel and is there in no time. And so he knows Napoleon has lost the war. But then, um, what was his move? He starts telling his guys to sell everything, and so when they people saw that like the royalty, then they sold everything they had for pennies on the dollar, so anyway, bottom line, Napoleon lost the war, and so England would have been okay, and so instead. Now the royal family are out of property, and they're in principle already in exile because they've sold everything of importance to them to escape. And Rothschild now owns all of it, and so he says, "Okay, let's talk turkey here, and what we'll do is we'll let you stay in the crown seat, but we will be, above the as the city of London, it will be above the royal estate, and so that was originally the city of London was the estate of the royal family, but then after the switch out, then that's what happened. So basically, then the royalty just sets a prime minister that because the ruling family don't really rule, they reign. And so the prime ministers rule the nation, but the royal family they're monarchs. They're just reigning, having a party. So the deal with the government then from that point on was, okay, here's how we're going to work it out. You can write all the bonds that you want to write, and in exchange for you getting an open checkbook where you can write all the bonds. Notice the word bonds sounds like bondage, right? You can write all the bonds for the government you need to write, but we get to tax the people as much as we want. And so if you can imagine, then they're taxing the people back 50%. So immediately, boom, they're taking half the wealth of the nation, right back, sucking it right back. All that labor, all that energy, that is produced. And so that's basically how it goes. So where does it go when it's taxed? Well, it doesn't go to the government. It goes to the banker. It goes back to the bank. Okay? And so our funny money that they take out every week through the IRS form then goes to the International Monetary Fund. It's cashing in on our labor. It's holding our energy, prime resource. So anyway, that's so in other words, when we hear people talking about and then they did the same exact system here in America. Okay, same exact system. So when we hear people saying, yeah, our tax dollars built all those underground bases, or our tax dollars sure went to waste over there, or our tax dollars. There is no tax dollars. There's no dollars, and the only tax is an illusion of. It's about control, not and controlling your ability to become set free, wealthy, and also control of from a political standpoint. Okay, so so everything is funded by an open book of creating bonds, and then the birth certificates bring in to commerce over a million, close to 1.5 million per birth certificate. So every baby that's born today just put millions of dollars into circulation today for the babies that are born. Okay, so this is an illusion. They're just like people going to prison, right? They say, man, it costs $30,000 a year to put them people in prison. Every one of them, no. They got your birth certificate on Wall Street. They're making $30,000 a month off of everybody in jail. 30,000. Add that up times 1,000 people, let alone that there's millions of them in America. Good morning, Diane. So amazing, ladies and gentlemen. The grand illusion, brought to you by banking, brought to you by religion. It's amazing, isn't it? I'm telling you. So there's my great life history today. I don't know if you have one, but you get a sample of dictionary, the Book of Wisdom, whatever you want for bringing it on. Okay, whenever you, I know you're going to think of one. So, let's do some words. I've got a reading that I want to do. I think I want to do a read from the Gospel of the Essenes. It's got my favorite words in here by Yeshua. Okay, you've never heard him before unless you got a copy of the Gospel of the Essenes, but this is a beautiful speech of Yeshua, yeah, and it's like poetry, and it shows elements of what has been removed from our scriptures by looking at this. Okay, so that'll be coming up in just a short moment here. The Gospel of the Essenes, the unknown books of the Essenes, lost scrolls of the Essene Brotherhood, translated from the original Hebrew and Aramaic texts by Edmond Bordeaux-Zeke. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about the words they kill us with every day, ladies and gentlemen. And we're in the alphabet C. I just need to get a little more light, okay? And hope you're all doing okay out there. It's a lousy, stinking, rotten, tough world, isn't it? I'm telling you. I just in 30 years of being a political activist, although that is not what I am anymore, I saw so many good people that gave everything they had to the cause of American freedom, and of course freedom of consciousness worldwide, not just American. But I was fighting for my Canadian friends and my Australian friends. When I used to broadcast on international shortwave radio 20 years ago, 25 years ago, before I fell through into all the voodoo I went through. We're talking last century, 1997 thereabouts. We used to that at that point it would have been more like 95, I think 95, 19, and so I bring on Bev Collins from Canada, the Canadian Institute for Political Integrity, and Ian Murphy from the Aussie Freedom Scouts down there in Australia. He had the Freedom Scouts, and they were like the militia, so to speak. Ian Murphy had a ranch of 300,000 acres, I guess. I was just thinking of my book for a moment. Hang on. I think I might have his poem in here. Let me see if I can flash through the page real quick and find Ian's poem. That'd be really cool. He stand by. Let me tell you what. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a song while I try to find it. I want to read this if I can. So hang on, okay? Just take a quick breather. I'll be right back when I can find this. I'm looking in the Real Da Vinci Code etymological dictionary. Okay, I found it. I think I'll go with the music. Australia, beware. Oh, Australia, great south continent. Your red heart burns on fire. As you face your test of greatness in times we know so dire. Australian sons and daughters, before you now I stand to warn you of the danger that threatens our great land. Our vast shores undefended lie prey to foreign foe, while government disarms the people. We all must tell them no. Our bishops all are silent on the issues of ethics grave. O Lord, where is their conscience for the souls they're bound to save? Our nation is plagued by treason in places high and low. Our leaders wash their hands like Pilate and condemn our land to die. Behold now Hawke and Keating, those men of Judas' shame. Who do they think they're fooling? All Aussies know their game. We watched them trip to Moscow to get their orders, true, here you go, and come back to control us. Be sure they will get their due. Let's kid ourselves no longer that she'll be all right, mate. But wake up to that threat now, before it is too late. Let's honor all our warriors who died on foreign shore to save our precious loved ones from this awful cannon's roar. Let's revive the Anzac spirit, as in cries now long past, and throw down now the gauntlet and show them we'll hold fast. So Aussies, make your plans now to protect our land and folk, so our children will have freedom and be spared the tyrant's yoke. So let's all pledge our courage as we did in days gone by, and trust in God Almighty, Australia will not die. Ian Murphy, circa 1990, Aussie Freedom Scouts, Australia's bona fide militia, along with Brigadier General Sarong, World War II veteran. And so these were friends of mine. He was trying to wake up this gentleman here, Ian Murphy, was trying to wake up the continent of Australia to come off of their medication and to realize what they were about to lose and what we're all about to lose at the same time. So it was amazing to hear after I got off of WWCR Worldwide Christian Radio out of Nashville, and then we get off the phone. He's getting phone calls from people in Australia who listen in on international shortwave. So it was a pretty powerful medium and very affordable at the same time, but certainly not as affordable as the internet. And internet is far way down the road. Ninja, I hear you. Yep, that's for the Aussie. Okay, so we're doing words, and that by the way, that poem, everything, I got all this stuff jam packed inside the Real Da Vinci Code Etymological Dictionary. Okay, so if you want to copy any size donation, just go to therealpublicradio.net, and there's the PayPal button right there, any size. Okay, and I'll get it to you right after the program by email, PDF, 300 pages, 8.5 by 11. Therealpublicradio.net. Okay, therealpublicradio.net. And so the letter C, ladies and gentlemen, for Charlie. Okay, so a symbol, the C supplemented the G. The G was the third letter. But they did the switch out. So that's what we talk about. We're little by little, we're going to work our way through the alphabet. But C, and this is out of the book I hand drafted but never published, called The Piracy of Words. Okay. So very few people are awake down under, Ninja. Right. Well, and the secret societies keep things under check. And so, one does have to be careful with who they talk about with this information, because the secret societies want to be in control and always have the upper hand, and they infiltrate all things. It's rather tragic. Anyway, on with C. And just like you have to see when you look, you go to see. Why do they call it going to sea? Because out there you've got to be looking. That's the only way you could ever get back, is by looking. You go to sea, right? You see the play on the word there, and the sea is also synonymous with the word seed, and it plants into the ground, and so there's a a sisterhood with the C and the G. There's duality going on there. Although the cover is the CH, it stands for the fire. That's why we find it in Cain and the children of Cain, spotted, redhead spotted. But anyway, so symbol for the crescent moon. The moon being the symbol for Lucy, my favorite, well, being facetious here, Lucifer. Yes, the favorite one to want to hate, the wicked stepmother, and Lucifer. Lu means true, and so Lucifer means the true cipher, but also uh, Lucifer is the light of fire, so it also means the light of fire, meaning reflecting the sun, because it has no light of its own. Lucifer. So the third position in the alphabet used to be the spot for the letter G, but the Masons, God wanted it to take the seventh position, which is the number of perfection. I see. And 3, C for C as in S-E-E, C as in S-E-A, seed as in S-E-E-T-D, seed, S-E-E-D, and then seat, because you're sitting on your seed, S-C-A-T, and a code, a true code, and seed of the moon. See also G-man. Okay, so cannabis, that's an interesting word, because you can hear the word Cana right in there. And it's the Cana bliss. Okay, back then it was one of the number one products, okay, back in primitive times. It was your clothing, it was the canvas. There's cannabis, the canvas on the wagon, on the sail of the ship. The canvas, okay? Cannabis is canvas, but also Cana bliss. Cana bliss. And so one, the Dutch Jesuit Arian pronounced it canvas for their sails of their nearly 3,000 sailing ships. 2, the term is derived from the Phoenicians in Palestine, where it is correctly spelled Cana bliss. Hemp was secretly grown, this is number 3, hemp was secretly grown in America prior to Columbus in the upper New England at the time to make big bucks and supply this raw material, rope, oil, etc. for all of Europe. We should include medicine. Just look at all of the towns with the name hemp in them from the state of Maine, Hampshire and all that's, yeah, I remember looking at the map, including, we can include New Hampshire, okay? There's the word tricks again. See, DuPont and Congress destroyed our nationally secure hemp industry to profit from synthetics while promoting it to young people, while making it illegal to create a prison population with the biggest money racket, a bonded birth certificate securities on Wall Street. See birth certificate, bonds, marijuana as a superfood and cure for cancer and most of what ails you. I don't know if any of you remember Jack Herrer, but Jack Herrer, he wrote the Emperor. What was it? The Emperor Wears No Clothes. I believe it is. It's the book on cannabis, how hemp could save the world. And he pointed out in there, he showed the history, but he pointed out that, literally you wouldn't have to cut another tree down. You wouldn't have to cut another tree down to make paper, because this hemp, which is the most amazing total and complete plant, You make rope, you make canvas, you make clothing, you make food, you make medicine. What do you need? This plant, and it can make you feel good too. The one that has the THC in it. Anyway, Jack Herer's wife called me one day at my studio and said, "Hey, I'm the wife of Jack Herer, who wrote the book King Wears No Clothes. Hemp Could Save the World." And I said, "Okay, great." So I became friends with them. They sent me their book and a CD, and it was really fantastic. He's now passed away from stroke. May he rest in peace. But Jack Herer, Normal, National Organization for Legalization of Marijuana, said they didn't know quite what to do with Jack Herer because he was coming at it from a whole different standpoint than Normal. I think Normal just raked in a lot of bucks but never did anything. Actually, Jack Herer did more as a one-man operation in spreading a true awareness about the nature and the history behind hemp and its significance and great importance. So yeah, never would have to cut down another tree, and then the hemp byproduct of the plant actually enriches the soil. It literally brings life back to the earth, and so they took away because they wanted to go synthetics. Okay, synthetics. They control it. Nothing to have to grow, just pump it out of the ground through the oil, you know. Okay, so we're on candidate, a can of dates. Of course, candidate's got to be holding a can of dates, right? Must be. C, running for office and not walking, hoping to be exposed for what they really are, great pretenders. Capital, and that's the capital, the capital. Kappa is head, tal is tally, meaning number. Okay, and that means therefore capital means chattel, cattle, a tail without a head, and property of another. See capitation with capital letters. That's right, they capitated you. They put another head back on you. But so capital then it literally means head count. Head is kappa, tail is count. So capital is Washington D.C. is the head count for all the people in America, and they're warehousing our information. That's all it's about is people management. It was supposed to be to protect the nation from international influence and intrigue, but that didn't last very long. I don't think, did it? No, 1812 or right out the gate in 76. Just they did the New Deal officially with 33. Okay, so capitation. And seeing that, it just reminded me. I just finished watching a movie that was referred to me, and I'm trying to remember who it was who told me about it. But one of our fine listeners, uh, it's called "First They Killed My Father," and so I did watch that, and I had seen The Killing Fields and other documentary about the killing fields, but this drama about the life of one family who were well off. They were in the upper class, but they immediately were rounded up. Their two daughters, two sons, I believe it was, and immediately throw away all their belongings. And then first they killed the father, and then the mother sends off the children, says, go and in four directions, go each in a different direction, and tell them you're an orphan. Whoever they find you, tell them you're an orphan, because they just killed the father because they know that this family could not fit in properly because of their intellectual, nature. And so, but anyway, so it was in the end, the mother sends her babies away, and that's it. We never see her again. But in the end, the four little ones each uh, struggle through the drama of being in this Cambodian war machine and being used. Then the one boy becomes like a little soldier, and then and something happens to each of them. But in the end, after it's all over, then boom, they come out and they find each other. They all find each other at one particular camp, not too far away, I guess. So it's a wow, it touched my heart, to see this very well produced drama. So I highly recommend with Netflix seeing First They Killed My Father, because this what we're going through, what the nations have all been going through, this Cambodian thing is just another Jesuit run experiment, another Jim Jones experiment. They're all working on the same team, you see. And Ninja, okay, you're listening. Very good. Good to have you. And so capitation, and and that's what got me going, because I thought about the killing fields and how they decapitate. They had to get the people to confess to anything or any, just confess, my child, just confess, confess, you can do it. And then after they get them to finally, when they say, I don't have nothing to confess, I didn't do anything wrong, so they didn't want to confess, but they wore them down. They wore them down so much that they'd confess to anything at one point. Yeah, I did it. Okay, sorry. Now everything's okay now, and we're gonna send you back home or whatever. And so after they got them to confess, they got them to get on their knees with a hood on their head, and they literally hit them in the back with a machete and then slit their throats to finish them off with a knife and cut off their head. And so that's how we get those pictures of all those skulls that were stacked up in all those different huts in Cambodia, the killing fields. So literally, I think it was the number, a quarter of the population, a quarter of the population uh, killed itself. Its own people killed its own people, ladies and gentlemen, just by being run at the top by some very wicked agenda. Vatican, Jesuit, CIA, and all the other order takers. So capitation, decapitation means the capitation, or cut off at the head. See capital letters, a capital idea. Capital letters, all capital letters. A drafted letter or correspondence in all caps is known as war diction. 2. A name or title in all caps is known as nom de guerre, and that means name of war, or a war name. Your title, which normally is small letters and first letter caps, in all capital letters, is a name of war. It's not really you. Actually, you only thought it was you. It looks like you, sounds like you. That's called an item sonan. Sounds like you, but it's not you. What is on that paper is not you, in all capital letters. Okay, and so it's a point of law, and it's an important one. But you don't even want to argue with these people. You want to know how, arguments are for fools, and not even to argue. Okay, so anything in all caps is a vessel. Anything is in all caps, like the Titanic. Okay, all capital letters on the side of the ship. It's a vessel, and vessel is whistle. Why do they call it a vessel? Woo, woo. The whistle. That's the vessel. And okay, so see merchant code, Phoenicians, ancient Aramaic, the true Sanskrit, and then we'll do this page, and then we'll be yeah, that'll be good. Hold it right. I'll just hold it right here. Capital letters. So case in commerce and contract admiralty law, you have to put your case, your cases of freight on the docket, on the dock. You see, so it's the admiralty commercial aspect of admiralty influence here on a case, a case in law or in commerce, a case on a contract admiralty law. You have to put your case or cases of fingerprint on the docket. And so we're not in Kansas anymore, ladies and gentlemen. And when we come back tomorrow, we'll be on change. We talked about change yesterday, and we got all the change they ever intended to give us. How do you like your change? Okay, so outstanding. We just tackled that one, didn't we? and you're tuned into the realpublicradio.net Free America Radio Network. Hoping you're telling your friends about the broadcast, and if you have a Star Watcher report, I would love to hear a Star Watcher report to if you saw the big one, you know what I mean? Like, okay, please, give us a call here and share what you're seeing, because I can't review so many of those YouTubes anymore the way I was doing it. And good to have you back, Barb. So yeah, if you've got a report, I know Barb down there in Tucson area, she was filming the rabbits and the animals. I think the birds or the roadrunner, I can't remember now all, but I remember those rabbits, and these jackrabbits were just like going around in circles, like, and she was walking up right near them. So I know that don't happen with jackrabbits. They're pretty, jacked up, and they split, so these things that are happening, if they affect the rabbits, you can imagine they're affecting us as well. It's all bad, okay? And our spirituality is certainly the thing we want to pursue, and that's the good news, okay? So let me turn on a light, and I'm going to do a little read for you out of the Gospel of the Essenes, and hope everybody's having a fine day out there. We can't go out in the sun anymore. If you do, you're risking a lot. So I hope you all realize, especially for those little ones. Remember, when it rains, don't walk barefoot in the rain, and don't have your little ones walk barefoot in the rain. You absorb through the skin of the feet, and there's so many toxins now that we absolutely have to be on a heightened level of hygienic awareness and preparation. And avoidance, and the best method is avoidance. Avoiding the toxins, and certainly drink a lot of distilled water. Distilled water is the best. It'll purge out the toxins by its nature. It does it by its nature. It's not going to purge the good metals out of your body, but we need serious remedy, ladies and gentlemen. Just a minute. I'm going to turn on my light here. All it's really coming down to, we're not going to be able to save our world. They've destroyed the ozone layer. It's quite evident. So all that we can do is help people to be comfortable and healthy as long as possible, especially the little ones, to protect them and try to bring them into the consciousness of the great Spirit of Light and the Heavenly Father and Yeshua. Okay, it rained last night, and it's so dark outside right now. They have the sky completely hazed over. Yeah. Caught the sunrise at 5:30 a.m. and there was a lot of red and pink. Okay. Thank you for that, Barb. So, yeah, it's a wonderful world, Mrs. Smith, Mr. Smith. Smith was the secret agent's code name when they came to America. There was a lot of them. And in German, it's Schmidt. You just change one letter, the H, move the H, I think, and you get Schmidt. So there's the same word in the INDO-GERMANIC. And yeah, that's why you got the Smithsonian. You see, that's Agent Smith. Mr. Smith, remember in The Matrix? Yeah, he looked like everybody else. Okay, Barb. Okay, so we got to read from the communions from the Gospel of the Essenes. This is my favorite of all the speeches or the sayings of Yeshua. This is a favorite of mine because it is written in the form of a poetic expression. Very well done, and it most likely would have been listened to and heard and written down by John, Yalkanan, or James, his brother. They were the Levitical scribes, the sons of thunder, which, excuse me for a moment, the sons with the gift, Zebedee, sons of Zebedee is a code for sons with a gift. And they had the gift, all right. That's why all of this stuff was written down. I mean, the biggest lie of history, I think, is where they're trying to say, oh yeah, these guys weren't smart enough to write anything down until at least 60 years later. And then they said, oh yeah, do you think maybe we should write it down and record what happened? Yeah, let's see if I can remember now. After 60 years, I'm a little fuzzy. But the truth is, they were writing and writing and writing, and that's why um, James and John, Yaakov and Yalkanan, James and John, along with Kephe, Peter, always followed Yeshua everywhere he went, exclusive from the other 9. In other words, if the whole group didn't go, then typically these 3 always went. These 3 always went, okay? So, and it's because they were the 2 witnesses plus 1. The 2 scribes were the 2 witnesses, and they could write down then everything they saw, like the transfiguration on the mount. It was just those 3, and so they were told, don't tell anybody till I rise from the dead, but that transfiguration. Okay, so here's the communions, and it was led by a bed, and it was by the bed of a stream that the weary and afflicted came again to seek out Yeshua. And like lost children, they had forgotten their way in the pure shelter of the mother light, the great law. And like lost seed in the wind, they sought out their father, their great father, to show them where they had erred, and to set their face and their feet again upon the straight path. And so when the sun began to rise over the earth's rim, they saw Yeshua coming toward them from the mountain, with the brightness of the rising sun fixed behind and around his head. And then he raised his hand and smiled upon them, breathing, the shalom of eternal peace be with you. But they were ashamed to return his greeting. For each in his own way had turned his back on the pure teaching, seed planting, and the royal messengers of the earthly mother and the great Father who rules from his throne in the Son were not forces within them. Were not with them. Excuse me. Just try a little more light here. And then one man looked up in anguish and spoke, Mother Star, we are in terrible need of your wisdom, for we know that which is good and perfect, and yet we follow the darkness of imperfection. We know that to enter the royal domain of the throne of the Son, we must walk with the royal messengers of the day and of the night. Yet our feet walk in the ways of the offender. The light of day shines only on our pursuit of pleasure, and the night falls on our heedless stupor. Tell us, Mother Star, how may we talk with the cosmic order, the great symbols, the royal messengers, and stay within the pure circle, that the law may burn in our hearts with a constant flame? And Yeshua then sparked out and breathed before them. And just let me get a sip here. And Yeshua sparked out as he breathed before them, to lift your eyes up towards the sun, when all men's eyes and feet are on the ground. It is not easy to follow and pay homage at the footsteps of the royal flaming swords. When all men follow and pay homage only to pleasure and power and wealth, it is not easy. But most difficult of all is to think the thoughts of royal messengers, and to spark the burning chavours of the royal messengers, and to do as the royal messengers do. And one man sparked out, "But Mother Star, we are but blood of the earth. We are not royal messengers. Malakaim. How then can we hope to walk in their ways? Tell us what we must do." And Yeshua sparked out and breathed before them, "As the seed and the son inherits the land of his father, so have we inherited a pure, anointed land, a paradisia, from our fathers. Yet the true land is not an earthly field that can be plowed with a real plow. It is of the mind, a place within us, but it is a place hiding deep within us, where we may build our only pure anointed temple. And even as a temple must be raised stone by stone, so will I give you those stones for the building of that only anointed and true temple, that which we have inherited from our fathers and their fathers' fathers. And all the men gathered around Yeshua, and their faces shone with anticipation, a great burning desire to give ear to every next shavor and word, what he rained down on them, which would come from his lips. Then he lifted his face before the rising sun, and the radiance of its rays filled his eyes while he sparked out and breathed the fire of light. The only true anointed pure temple can be built only with ancient communions. Those which are breathed and sparked. Those which are thought, read, or seen, and those which are lived. But if they are spoken only with the mouth, then they are as a dead hive, which the bees have forsaken, and it gives no honey any longer. The communions are a bridge between the blood of the earth and the cosmic order, the royal messenger on the highest degree. And like a bridge, can be built only with patience. Yeah, even as the bridge over the river is fashioned by stone, as they are found in the water's edge. Now the communions are 14 in number, as the royal messengers and the stars of light of the great Father who rules from his throne in the sun, all number 7. Wonder why? There are 7 days of the week. And the royal messengers of the earthly mother are all number in 7. And just as the roots of the tree sink into the earth and are nourished, and the branches of the tree raise their arms towards the sun, so is blood of the earth like the trunk of the tree, with his roots deep in the breast of his earthly mother, and his soul ascending up to the bright stars of the great Father who rules from his throne in the cosmic star, the mother star, the sun. And the roots of the tree are the royal messengers of the earthly mother, and the branches of the tree are the royal messengers of the great Father of light. And this is the sacred tree of life, which stands within this great sea of eternity, the Eternite. The Eternite. The first communion is with the royal messenger of light, the one who arrives every morning as a bride from her private chamber to shed her glowing light on the entire world. You, true, perfect, and complete, immortal, bright, shining, and swift-steeded royal messenger of the sun. There is no warmth without you, no fire without you, no life without you. The green leaves of the trees pay homage unto you and bend down. And through you is the tiny wheat kernel become a stream of golden grass, an ocean of amber grain, moving with the mind and the wind. Through the trees has opened the flower, and through you, within the center of my blood eye. Therefore, I will never hide myself from you again, royal messenger of the sun. Only true anointed, pure, great messenger of the earthly mother, the solar center, enter into the pure anointed temple within me, great light, and give me the fire of life. The second communion is with the royal messenger of water, she who makes the rain to fall on the arid plain, who fills the dry well to overflowing. Yeah, we do pay homage unto you, water of life. From the heavenly sea, the cosmic sea, the waters run and flow forward. From the never-falling springs, in my blood flow 1,000 pure springs, and vapors and clouds, and all the waters that spread over all the 7 royal domains. As the waters the Creator has made are pure, the voice of the healer and pure breather of light is upon the waters and rests there. Yavohe, the great Elohim of the only true light, thunders. The healer is upon the many waters. The royal messenger of water, only true anointed, pure messenger of the earthly mother, entered the blood that flows through me. Wash my body in the rain that falls from the sky, and give me the water of life. The third communion is with the royal messenger of the air, who spreads the perfume of sweet-smelling fields, of spring grass after rain, of the opening buds of the rose of Sharon. We pay homage of the only true anointed, pure great breath of light on the wind and wings of fire throughout all time, which is placed higher than all other things made. For it is true throughout all time, the eternal and the sovereign, luminous outer space, inner space, where rule and the unnumbered stars is the air we breathe in and the air we breathe out. And in the moment between the breathing in and the breathing out is hidden all the mysteries of the infinite garden. The royal messenger of the air, only true, anointed, pure, great messenger of the earthly mother, enter deep within me, as the swallow plummets from the sky, that I may know the secrets of the wind and the music of the stars, the pure shelter. The fourth communion is with the royal messenger of the earth, she who brings forth the seed and the grape from the fullness of the earth, she who brings the shoots of little ones, the offspring we call children, from the loins of husband and wife. The eye, he who would till the earth with the left arm and the right. Unto him will she bring forth forward an abundance of fruit and grain, golden hued plants growing up from the earth during the spring, as far as the earth extends, as far as the rivers stretch, as far as the sun rises, to impart their gifts of food unto blood of the earth. This wide earth do I claim and praise, expanded far with paths, the productive, the full bearing, thy mother, the only true anointed plant. Yeah, I rise up in the creation, this land, where you do grow, sweet scented, swiftly spreading, the perfect growth of the great Yahweh, who is the great Elohim. The eye who sows the seed and the wheat and the herbs and the grass and the fruit, excellent fruit, sows from the natural law, the pure shelter. This is how his harvest will be bountiful and is bountiful. And his crop will be ripe upon the hills and is ripe upon the hills. As a reward for the followers of the law, the pure shelter, Yahweh, who is the great Elohim, sent the royal messenger of earth, the only true anointed pure messenger of the earthly mother, to make the plants to grow and to make fertile the womb of the woman, that the earth may never be without the laughter of children, the virgin seed. Let us reverence our healer and pure breather of light, who hides himself within her, that virgin woman. The fifth communion is with the royal messenger of life, she who gives strength and vigor to blood of the earth. And it looks like we have a call coming in. Stand by. And hello? Who do we have there?
It's Ninja Cat. Hello.
Oh, Ninja, good. How you doing today? Am I coming through loud and clear?
Not too bad.
Am I coming through?
Sorry?
Am I coming through loud and clear?
You are now. Hang on. I've got my headphones on and it's not working. 1 second.
All right.
My phone's gone all stupid. Oh, well, that's typical, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So good to have you.
Yes.
And how are things down under? You heard my poem of the Aussie Freedom Scouts of Ian Murphy. That was pretty cool, huh?
That was cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, great people. These are the people that have already come and gone, you know, and it's like that when I came in back in 1990, 1991, become a political activist. I had all the veterans were already getting old and dying, you know, and they never fixed Washington. Nothing changed. And ultimately we see that what's happening in your country, ours, Canada, you know, England, and South Africa, the primary five main Christian, quote unquote Christian nations. They're all go. They all go the same way. Banking took over at the same time. It was a one-stop deal for all of it at the same time.
Yeah, I think we're a little bit behind. I mean, yeah, I agree with you there, but I think we're a little bit behind. Like, an example, with technology, for example, everyone's talking about 5G, and we don't have it. We have what's called, what do they call it? It's fibre optic cables, international broadband network. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
And I'm avoiding that anyway. Like, I try and keep ours as
it would be the same thing. It's just another name, though, right? Basically, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in Queensland they're doing a trial with 5G, but I think down here, down under, we're a little bit behind and a little bit backwards.
Right.
Which is a good thing.
Well, I don't know, but you guys are really out there on the deep end of the planet, and a lot of wilderness. You got a lot of vacant land out there that's got nothing there. I can't get over it.
Yeah, we're all around the edge of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's changing. Like, it's changing with all the fake weather. It's the best way I can describe it. The geoengineering, weather modification. It's changed the entire country. Like, there's green. There's too much green. It's growing in places it's never grown before. Like, that's why most people live around the edge of the country, because it's mostly desert in the middle.
Uh-huh.
And and the green is it's everywhere. Like, I'm trying to picture in my head. It used to be around the edge mostly, and now where I am in the bottom eastern corner, it's growing, like it's moving. It's growing from the eastern corner, and it's covering a lot more. Like, it's going towards the centre, and it's covering a lot more ground now. And it's bizarre because everything's dying, but Australia's getting greener. It's bizarre.
So you've got also more disasters of every type going on. So you really, and here it looks like they're intentionally going to burn down all the forests, because that way it'll hide the evidence of the forests that have already died and are just a prime fuel for a fire. So it'd be easier to burn them so nobody can see them.
Yeah, we've had fires when we shouldn't really be having fires. Everything's out of whack. We had a 5-month-long summer with mostly 40-degree temperatures, and then it just switched. Like, within a day, we went from 36 degrees, I think it was, to almost having a blizzard here in Canberra.
Uh-huh.
There was no autumn. They don't do back burning at the right time here. I think that's deliberate, so that there's more to burn when they want to burn have certain fire catastrophes. Victoria copped a fair bit of fire a couple of months ago, and that's never happened before. And it was like bam, 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 one fire after another. Another channel caught evidence of drones starting these fires, actually caught it on film, creating lightning strikes to start the fires in Victoria. Crazy times.
Yeah, and they probably got a promotion too, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, like how I was saying, we're a bit behind, a bit backwards down here, and yet, like, when I saw that, like, I saw it on YouTube a couple of months ago, nothing surprises me, but I was quite shocked to see the evidence of that happening in this country. Yeah, shocking. So, yeah, maybe we're not as behind as what I think we are.
Uh-huh. Right. Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, very good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I just wanted to share my experience with the lunar eclipse the other night.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're not able to get any of it apparently. So were you in a position to actually get a good picture of it?
I saw the whole thing, and I got some on film. I haven't uploaded yet. I have to go through it because I didn't have enough space on my phone to just let it record the whole thing.
Okay.
So I had to stop and start.
Right. So for the benefit of our listener, just to clarify, this is the voice of Ninja Cat down there in Canberra, Australia. So Ninja Cat is on the chat. Obviously, you can see it, but just in case you are only hearing this audio, then Ninja Cat is 2 words, normal spelling, Ninja, second word CAT, and that's her YouTube channels because that's where they're going to be able to find it then, right, Ninja?
Yes.
All right.
I will try and get it uploaded tonight or tomorrow. Yeah.
All right.
Excuse me. Yeah. For starters, it went for too long. I can't explain why and how a lunar eclipse can, how the moon can be completely covered in the Earth's shadow for over 2 hours. That's just, it's...
Yeah, it doesn't sound right, does it?
Yeah, from my experience, it's not right. It's impossible. Yeah. Yeah, and the moon was, from my perspective, it looked much too small. Even when it got closer to the horizon, from perspective, when the closer the moon is to the horizon, like whether it's rising or setting, it always looks bigger. It's the same with all the other objects in the sky. They look bigger the closer they get to the horizon.
Yeah.
And the moon didn't change size. It didn't look any bigger. If anything, it looked smaller when it got closer to the horizon. Yeah, so it was pretty bizarre. When the shadow completely covered it and it went red, it kind of stayed lit a little bit on its left-hand side, which I thought was strange as well. And it was very dark on the other side of it. And when that happened, the energy went all, I've felt this kind of energy before. I feel this energy a lot when I'm outside in the early hours looking at the sky. But this was pretty extreme. Like, the energy just changed instantly. It felt all heavy and I don't know, electric, for lack of a better word. And the sky, and they all came out to play. I saw a silent something or other pretending to be a plane, I think. Had flashing red lights, and it was moving not how a plane should move. And had a blue light that flashed every once in a while. It was mostly red flashy lights. That was pretty strange.
Uh-huh.
And I saw little wandering stars everywhere, like they meander across the sky, and they flare up really bright, and then they go back down and just meander off and vanish. There were quite a few of those. I haven't seen them in a while. And a massive shooting star went straight across the sky, like the entire sky that flared up bigger than Mars, and then it all stopped, and it was just me and the red moon. And yeah, it did not end. I waited until dawn, and the moon was getting ready to set behind the mountains, and it was still red. And this was an hour and a half later, and it was just before sunrise. And it was getting way too cold, so I gave up and went to bed because I wanted to film the shadow leaving.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a little bit of the light poking out, and it never happened.
Right.
And I was reviewing my footage and put my phone on to outdoors mode to get a better look and see if I could see any strangeness. And it went from, because the sky always looks red with my nighttime stuff when I do that, went from red sky just instantly. I think it was when the light started to come up from the sun. I don't know. It was weird. But it was like the sky was all glittery, flashing and glittery, and very active and electric. It's bizarre. I'm going to put it up when I put the video up. But everyone will have to put their devices on outdoors mode to see it, I think. But I'll do my best. Yeah, so that was my experience with the lunar eclipse.
Right.
Very strange. Yeah, and for it to last that long, looking at things like we are like, I don't care if the Earth is flat, round, whatever. We're in a dome, whatever. I don't care about that. To me, that doesn't matter. There's more important things. But looking at it from the traditional perspective, where we're a spinning globe in orbit and the moon's going around us, everything is moving and spinning. How could the eclipse last for over 2 hours? A celestial body would have to stop.
Yeah.
Mid-orbit. Yeah. So to me, that is evidence that the moon is not right. It's not what most people think it is.
Yeah.
It's being controlled and manipulated, and it's probably some sort of machine. So that's my perspective.
Well, yeah, but Ninja, the moon is made by Yahweh, not by people. The moon had to be here as part of creation. We couldn't have had life on Earth without the moon, and it's a creation. It came out of the sun. It just cooled. It cooled.
But what if they're hiding the real one from us with a fake one?
Oh yeah, well they might be doing that. Yeah, but as far as I don't know what the deal is about the moon that they were trying to hide the moon, but if it were obviously tilted extremely different or whatever, they might want to cover that up too, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just But it was just very strange to experience it.
Yeah. Well, no doubt they've screwed everything up, and we are not happy. So. Anything you want to say to the friends that are on the chat today, or just any other thoughts real quick?
I don't know. It's like nearly 1 a.m. here. Sorry, I'm a little bit foggy. I just wanted to share that and just send peace, love, and light to everybody in the chat. And stay safe and keep looking for the truth.
Absolutely. Yeah. Keep looking up, even though it's not pretty, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my motivation anyway. If if everything else is going nuts and, you know, not going right, I have not stopped looking for truth. So that's what keeps me going. So that's my advice
Right.
to everybody.
Okay, and you get it right here on the Forbidden History series, right?
Yes.
Right. We love spilling the beans, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing more fun.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just wanted to say thank you, and I love this channel.
Thank you so much, Ninja, and it's great having you, and it's a wonderful Skywatcher group that basically became, you know, the impetus, the inspiration for me to start sharing with others, because it was great to have immediately have some friends that you know, to share with. And there's Barb. I don't know if she's talking to me. I see my name there. They are trying to replicate God's creation while removing His original creation. Yeah, that's her theory, right? Right. It's another way of mocking. You know, it's the mocking thing.
That's what I'm trying to explain. Like how they're mimicking everything. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What they're mimicking and what's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see in the future before we croak, I guess, because they've got enough poisons there to help us croak real soon. But geez, I'm telling you, what a world. We got to just hang in there. But I'm glad you can share with us. I know that you were pretty much on your own down there, so I'm so great and honored to have an outlet for you to fellowship with a lot of good friends. You're on their channels, of course, but here we get to really hear somebody, and you know, and so it's a nice gathering point, and I'm just grateful for everybody. So, and thank you.
Aww.
Thank you for calling in, and if you think of another great live history, then bring it on, okay?
Okay, we'll do.
Okay, Ninja, be well, and we'll talk. We'll stay in touch.
Okay.
I see you on the chat. Bye. Okay, and that's Ninja Cat. And yes, I was just saying that's you. Goodbye.
Oh, okay.
See you later.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. All right. Bye bye. So I gotta hang it up. There we go. All right. So let's get back to our read now in the Gospel of the Essenes, and we're on the into the fourth communion, where I said continuing sweet scented, swiftly spreading, the good growth of the healer's eye. He sows the wheat, the herbs, and excellent fruit, sows the pure shelter of the natural law. And this is how his harvest will be bountiful and his crops will be ripe upon the hills as a reward for the followers of the pure shelter, the law, the natural law. And Yavohe of the royal messenger of earth, the only true anointed pure messenger of the earthly mother to make the plants to grow and make fertile the womb of the woman, and that the earth may never be without the laughter of that virgin seed, the children. Let us pay homage, reverence our healing Yavohe, pure breather of light, who hides himself within her. The fifth communion is with the royal messenger of life, she who gives strength and vigor to man. For it is true throughout all time, if the wax is not pure, how then can the candle give a steady flame? Go then toward the highest growing evergreen tree, and before one of them, which is of the most perfect form, highly growing and mighty, say these words: Rise and be healed. May this happen to you, true and perfect living tree, made by the Creator. Then will the river of life flow between you and your brother, burning the tree, and health of the body, swiftness of foot, quick hearing of the ears, strength of the arm, and eyesight of the eagle be yours. Such is the communion with the royal messenger of life. pure, anointed, and true messenger of the earthly mother. The sixth communion is with the royal messenger of enlightenment, and thus joy. She who descends upon earth to give beauty for all blood of the earth, the enlightenment. For Yavohe is not homaged with sadness, nor with cries of despair. Leave off your moans and lamentations, and sing unto Yavohe a new song. Sing unto the Yavohe all of the earth, and let the symphony of stars stand up in this light, and let the earth spin with joy, and let the field be filled with light. Let the floods clap their hands, and let the hills be joyful together before Yahweh, who is the great Elohim. For you will go out with enlightenment and joy, and be led forth in the shalom of eternal peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you into singing. The royal messenger of enlightenment and joy, the only true anointed messenger of the earthly mother, I do sing unto Yahweh as long as I live. I do sing, rising up in the creation before my great Elohim, while I have being. The seventh communion is with our earthly mother, who sends forth her royal messengers to guide the roots of blood of the earth and send them deep into the blessed soil. We invoke the earthly mother, the pure preserver, the maintainer. It is she who does restore the earth as new. The earth is hers, with the fullness thereof, richness in everything that the world contains, including those who dwell therein. We pay homage in the perfect form, the strength, the ever-giving beneficence, earthly mother, with all of her natural forces that speak, bounteous, valiant, and full of strength, welfare bestowing, kind, and health giving. Through her brightness and radiant light, the sunrise, do the plants grow up from on the earth. Through the never failing springs, current of life, through her brightness and radiant sunrise, do the winds blow, driving down the clouds towards the never failing springs. The earthly mother and I are one. I have my roots in her, and she takes her delight in me, according to the only true anointed pure shelter, the law. Then there was a great silence, and the listeners pondered these burning shavors of Yeshua, and there was new strength in them, and desire, and the hope shone in their faces. And then one blood of the earth spoke, Mother Star, we are filled with eagerness to begin our communion with the royal messengers of the earthly mother, who planted the great garden of the earth. But what of the royal messengers of the great Father who rules from the throne in the sun, who rules the night? How are we to read them? That which is far above us, who are that which is invisible to our eyes. For we can see the rays of the sun. We can feel the cold water of the stream where we bathe. And the grapes are smooth to our touch as they grow purple on the vines. But the royal messengers of the great Father of light, who rules from his throne in the sun, cannot be seen or heard or touched. How then can we comprehend and speak with this that is before us and enter the infinite garden. Mother Star, tell us what we must do. And the morning sun was fixed directly, encircled behind his head, with the radiance of light as Yeshua looked upon them and spoke. Excuse me. My little ones, know, do you not know that the earth and everything that has form within it is actually a reflection of the royal domain, the sovereign domain of the house of the great Father of light? And just as you are suckled and comforted by your mother when little, but go to join your father in the fields when you grow up, so do the royal messengers of the earthly mother guide your steps towards him, the one of the many who is your father, and all his royal messengers, so that you may know your true home, your true estate, and become true seeds of light. We are the seed, the only loved seed, and we can see the rays of the sun. Yet we do not comprehend the power, that which created it, while we are still little ones, crawling. We can hear the sounds of the flowing brook, but not the love that created it. While we are little ones, we can see the stars at night, but not the hand that scattered them throughout the sky, that midnight sky, just as the farmer scatters his seed. Only through the communions which the royal messengers of the great Father, who rules from his throne in the sun, that will learn to see the unseen, to give ear to that which cannot be heard, and to spark the unspoken word. The first communion is with the royal messenger of power, infinite power. Let me take a note here on that. Excuse me. I continue to take notes every time I read. And by the way, you are tuned in right here to the realpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network. Want to welcome any new listeners out there and all of our friends that are on the chat. Just a wonderful group of people that love life and enjoying in on the renaissance of the original, that which they denied us. Okay, so the first communion is with the royal messenger of infinite power, who fills the sun with heat and guides the hand of blood of the earth. That's would the in the essence of that then would be the Yahweh is represented as that breath that breathes the heat into the throne of the sun and guides the hand of blood of the earth in all of his walk and work. Yours, great, true, and perfect, and complete Father, who rules from his throne in the sun, is the power, the sovereign power, when you do order a path for each of us and all things. Through your power will my feet tread the path of the pure shelter and the natural law. Through your power, infinite power, will my hand perform your walk and work. May the golden river of the infinite power always flow from you to me, and may my body always turn unto you, as the flower turns into the sun. For there is no power save that from the great Father of light, who rules from his throne in the sun. All else is but vision of dust, a cloud passing over covering the face of the sun. There is no blood of the earth that has power over the great breath, the wind, the spirit that moves him. Neither hath the power in the day of death. Only that power which comes from the one who rules from the throne of the sun can carry us out from this habitation of death and guide our walk and work and action up to the perfection of the royal messenger of power. All power are these pure anointed messengers of the great Father of light who rules from the throne in the sun. The second communion is with the royal messenger of the Travain love, divine love, whose healing waters flow in a never-ending stream from the sea of eternity. My only loved seed, let us love one another. For the Travain love is of the great Father of light who rules from his throne in the sun. And everyone that loves is born of the great Father of light who rules from the throne of the sun in the order of things and knows the royal messengers that speak. For without love, a blood of the earth's heart is parched and cracked as the bosom of a dry well, and his words are empty as a hollow gourd. But loving words are as a honeycomb, sweet to the soul. Loving words in a blood of the earth's mouth are as a deep water, and the wellspring of love, as a flowing brook. Yeah, it was said in the ancient of time, you will love your great Father who rules from his throne in the sun with all of your heart, with all of your mind, with all of your action. And you will love your brothers as yourself. The great Father who rules from his throne in the sun is that Travain love manifested through the tree and the sun, earth, and moon. And the I that dwells in this Travain love, Father, Mother, Son, dwells in the throne of the great Father of light. And the great Father who rules from his throne in the sun is in him. He that loves is not as a wandering bird cast out of the nest. For him the grass fails, and the stream has a bitter taste. If a man breathe, I love the great Father of light who rules from his throne in the sun, but yet then hates his brother, he is a liar. For he that loves not his brother whom he hath seen, how then can he love the great Father of light who rules from the throne in the sun, whom he has not seen? By this we know the seed of light, those who walk with the royal messengers of love. For they love the great Father of light, and they love their brothers, and they keep the only true anointed pure shelter and natural law. Love is stronger than currents of deep water. Love is stronger than death. The third communion is with the royal messenger of wisdom, who makes blood of the earth free from fear, white of heart, easy of conscience. The only true anointed pure wisdom is the comprehension that unfolds, the enlightenment that unfolds continuously as an only true anointed scroll. Yet it does not come through mere study or reading. All wisdom comes from the great Father of light who rules from his throne of the sun, and his helping hand is with him forever. Who can number the sand of the sea, or the drops of the rain, or the days of eternity? Who can find out the height, the distance from the sun, or the breadth or the measurement around the circle of the earth. Who can talk about the beginning of wisdom? Wisdom has been created before all things. The eye who is without wisdom is like him who said to the wood, wake up, and to the dumb, lifeless stone, rise up, teach me. So are his shavors empty, and his action harmful, just as a child who brandishes his father's sword and does not know the power of its cutting edge. But the crown of wisdom makes the shalom of eternal peace and perfect health to flourish, both of which are the gift of Yahweh. True, perfect, and complete you, great order of light, and you, royal messenger of wisdom, I pay homage unto you, the great Father of light, who rules from his throne in the sun, because of whom the rivers of thought flow within us. It is always flowing upon us towards that great sea of the eternal light in the day that has no end. The fourth communion is with the royal messenger of eternal life, who brings the message of eternity to blood of the earth, since he who walks with the royal flaming swords of light will learn to soar above the clouds, and his home will be in the eternal sea, where stands the sacred tree of life. Do not wait for death to reveal the great mystery. The great mystery, if you do not know the great Father of light who rules from his throne in the sun, while your feet tread the dusty soil, there will be nothing but shadow of darkness for you. In the life that has now come, here and now, is the mystery revealed. Here and now is the creation lifted. So don't be afraid, true, perfect, and complete blood of the earth. Take a hold of the wings of the royal messenger of life, the eternal life in a day without end, and soar on into the paths of the stars, the moon, the sun, and the endless light moving around in their revolving circle forever, and fly towards the great cosmic sea of the eternal life in the tree of life. The fifth communion is with the royal messenger of work, who sings in the humming of the bee, pausing not in its making of golden honey, in the flute of the shepherd, who sleeps not lest his flock go astray, in the song of the maiden, the virgin, as she lay her hand to the spindle. And if you think that these are not fair in the eyes of the great Elohim, Yahweh, as the loftiest of creation of light in prayer, echoed from the highest mountain, then you do indeed err. For the honest work of humble hands is a daily creation of light, prayer, of thanksgiving, and the music of the plow is a joyful song unto Yahweh. And he who eats the bread of idleness must die of hunger. For a field of stone can yield only stones. For him is the day without meaning, and the night a bitter journey of empty dreams of darkness. The mind of the idle is full of the weeds of discontent, but he, the eye, who walks with the royal messenger of work, has within him a field always fertile, where seed and grapes and grain and all manner of sweet-scented herbs and flowers grow in abundance. As you sow, so will you reap. The blood of the earth of Yahweh, who has found his work, will not ask any other gift. The sixth communion is with the royal messenger of the shalom of eternal peace, whose kiss bestows calm, and whose face is as the surface of untroubled waters. Wherein the moon is reflected, I will invoke the shalom of eternal peace, whose breath is friendly, whose hand smooths the troubled brow. In the reign of the shalom of eternal peace, there is neither hunger nor thirst, neither cold wind nor hot wind, neither old age nor death. But to him that has not the shalom of eternal peace in his soul, there is no place to build within the pure temple. For how can the carpenter build, the Naga build in the center of a whirlwind? The seed of violence can reap only a harvest of desolation. And from the parched clay can grow no living thing. You must then seek the royal messenger of the shalom of eternal peace. Stay in the present moment. Who is that moving star in the center of the cloud? Sounds like our mother star. As the moon at the full, where sits Yeshua. As a fair olive tree bending forth fruit, and as the sun shining on the temple of the mother star in the eye of the return, the shalom of eternal peace dwells in the heart of silence, meditation, presence. Be still and know that I am Yahweh, who is the great Aleph Haim. The seventh communion is with the great Father of light, who rules from the throne of the sun, who is, who has been, and who always will be. True, perfect, and complete, great archigenitor, architect, and creator of Elohim, who makes all things. You did create the royal messengers of light, and you did reveal the cosmic pure shelter at high noon, the light that shines down. You are my refuge and my fortress. You are from everlasting healer and pure breather of light. You have been our dwelling place in all generations. In you, Yeshua, before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth, even from everlasting to everlasting, you are Yahweh, who is the great Aleph Haim, who has made waters and makes the plants and with the wind, hath yoked the storm clouds, the swift and ever the fleetest, who, true, perfect, and complete, great creator, is the fountain of eternal vivification, life in a day without end within our souls. Who is that fountain but you, who hath made the light and the darkness, who hath made the sleep and the zest of the waking hours, who spreads the noontide and the midnight? You, true, perfect, and complete, great archigenitor, you have made the earth by your power, has established the world by your wisdom in wise judgment, had stretched out the cosmic sea and all the stars of light by your travain love. Do you reveal unto me, true Father of light, your true nature, which is the power of the royal messengers of your pure anointed royal sovereign domain, the dolmen, immortality, and the great cosmic order of light have you given, true, perfect, and complete architect and creator, and the best of all things, your pure shelter, your travain law. I will praise your works with song and thanksgiving continually in all the generations of time. With the coming of the Dayel, the great day, I embrace my mother with the coming of night I join with my Father, and with the outgoing of evening and morning I will breathe their law, and will not interrupt these communions until the end of my time, in a day without end. And over the sky and earth was a great silence, and the peace of the great Father of light, who rules from his throne in the sun, and the earthly mother shone over the heads of Yeshua and the multitude. And next time I'll read from the Essene book of Yeshua, the sevenfold peace. This is also another favorite. I actually have two of them. I forgot. So let's go to a song, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, let's see here. It's it's about time to wrap things up. I think I don't want to hold everybody. I know everybody's got things to do, but that comes out of the Gospel of the Essenes. Okay, and it is poetry in here. I can't get over. It used to be sold in England. It's now going for a high price because the book's out of print. But yeah, it's my favorite book next to the Aquarian Gospel. So let's go to a song, and then the phone is still open if you have any announcement, anything to share, and you're welcome to call in. I can stop the music if I need to. Otherwise, we're gonna call it a wrap for the day, and then we'll be looking at you again tonight at 9 Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I have some friends I'll be bringing on. They were on last night's program. So tomorrow night, Melody Gillespie will be Mel's Bar and Grill, where she cooks up the attorneys, and we slice and dice them. So if you have any friends that are having any kind of legal struggle, then that's a program for discussion and asking questions. And we certainly have friends between us, and always direct our friends to anybody that could help them in their situation. We're here to serve. Want to make our world as much better as possible with the little that we are able to do. So I want to thank all of you for stopping by today, being a part of the program. Thank you, Jedi. And how do you spell the title of the book? Oh, The Gospel of the Essenes. Essenes. Okay, The Gospel of the Essenes. So I'll type it here. Okay, and so with that, I just want to remind everybody not to forget, if you want to know about your future, then you need to look for the Forbidden History, because it's all here, ladies and gentlemen, twice a day, because somebody's got to do it. And thank you, Barb and Anna, last name. Good to have you. And I'm Desert Owl, thanking you for tuning in. Look for you at 9 p.m. Eastern Time tonight on therealpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network. It's what they didn't want you to know that we tell right here. And you too, Ninja Cat.